brown.
Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is currently 8 o'clock in the morning. It is time to get your ass out of bed. If you didn't get your ass out of bed, if you're watching this at night, good job. Anyways, next. So, first of all, I need y'all to like and subscribe this video, please. The algorithm is kicking my ass currently. But anyways, it's not what you came here for. So, what we actually came here to talk about is, yo, don't compare yourself to other people. And don't look for consolence when you're going through hard times from other people about things that you are going through on certain matters, right? And so we always talk about don't take advice from people you don't want to be like. But it also pertains to don't compare yourself to people that aren't like you. When you're speaking to people about an issue that you may be going through, your average might be their best. So like they might think like, yo, this dude looks amazing, but I feel like, right? So in their brain, they want to aspire to be you, but in your brain, you know that you are at the worst that you ever been. And so you got to understand that your average or your bottom are people's ceilings, bro. So like you got to stop talking to people about how to fix your own issues and understand that that's a thing that you got to figure out within yourself, bro. You should always compare yourself to where you are or where you were or where you want to be. Yourself against yourself is always what you want to, that's the game you want to play. Right? So, for instance, look, this is what I'm talking about. On the left side, I want to say this is about September. And on the right side, this is me currently after going through an entire summer of doing a dirty bulk or wanting to kind of slack off in the fitness department, especially on my abdomen. Now, does this mean that I'm doing terrible in fitness? No, but this does say that you've slacked. And the human being that's on the left side is a totally different human being in the terms of discipline and mental fortitude than the person on the right. And no matter how successful you get, bro, you have to always compare yourself to yourself. Always. And understand how to then overcome the hurdles of getting back to where you were. And if you want to get back to where you were or get back to a new space, you have to always take the advice of yourself because you can only create your standards. Someone else can't create your standards, bro. Because at some point, you're going to default to who you are. You can only get motivation and gather your source of energy from people for so long or for so much. There's a ceiling with that, bro. You got to understand that you have to figure out the disciplinary actions and routines that you have to implement in your life to get the results that you want. And if you were at a previous and a better spot, you have to remember what that felt like and what that was. Because what I went back to my coach who trained me last night. There's a video of that. Trained me a bit last night. And what we discussed was that the human being, because I showed him the same picture, the human being on the left is a whole different Dwight Brown. That's a killer. And the pain comes when you look at something that you once were that you no longer are, right? And it's not to say that you need to be this all the time, because life is about going up and down and understanding the trials and tribulations and how you get through them, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every day that you're going to be the guy on the left. There are going to be days and seasons in your life where you have to be the guy on the right, who is still doing what he has to do, but is taking more time and putting it in different places of life to garnish a different result. The guy on the left is very disciplined, yes, and put a shit ton of work inside of becoming that stature of human, but the guy on the right is way more successful in terms of his relationships, understanding people, and the amount of money that he has, right? So you gotta weigh it out sometimes, but then once you get to a point where you understand that, okay, I gotta get back to the guy on the left because I've slipped too far away, that's when you start to implement your own disciplines, your own standards on yourself. That's when you start to judge yourself. Be very slow to judge people. There's one thing that I won't do, and it's shame people for where they're at right now if they're trying to get out of it. Because you can't point the finger without pointing forward back. And yes, again, cliche, but it's very true. Do not point a fucking finger before you look at yourself and say, yo, are you doing yourself and keeping yourself accountable? Because most of us are not. We're giving ourselves blighs. Yo, do you hit the snooze button in the morning? And it doesn't matter how much time you wanted. Did you get the fuck out of the bed when the alarm went off? No. Okay, cool. So you're giving yourself some slack. Did you make that extra call or finish the task that you know that you could have finished, but you were too amped to get this little bit of dopamine in your system, so you didn't finish your task? oh, didn't keep yourself accountable, but you went outside and you went to go enjoy your dopamine. These are the things we have to keep ourselves accountable with, and stop giving ourselves such like the pat on the back, because that's how you slip away from your disciplines and your standards. This is how you lose the footing and the traction and the momentum that you have. You have to always keep yourself accountable, even when it's hard to. Because it's real hard, bro. I promise you, it's real hard to keep yourself accountable when you're doing just fine and you feel good and everything's going your way. It's very fucking hard. And then worse, it's even harder when things are hard and you make excuses onto why you do certain shit. Therefore, you need a blanket, like, you need to like put a blanket over all of your actions and say, this is who I am and this is what I stand for and this is how I'm going to operate in this life no matter what the fucking situation is. It's a real thing, bro, because I do it as well. I'm a human just as you are. I am no different than you, bro. No different. Elon Musk, all of these big cats, all your favorite fucking influencer is no different than you. None of us are different. We all have 24 hours in the day. We all want to hit the snooze button. We all want to be in our beds cozy. We all want to be comfortable. We all are running from discomfort. We all are doing these things to get away from the discomfort that plagues our life. So realize that that's who you are. Your human nature is going to pound down on you, and you're going to have to fight it every single day beyond just what you think is okay and acceptable. It's not okay just to coast in life. It's not okay just to be the average dude. And a lot of your issues stem from you knowing that being the average dude is going to kill you, but then surrounding yourself with average people who will tell you that the guy on the right is just fine and he is doing just fine and he is better than most of the population. The goal is not to be better than most of the population. The goal is to exert all of my potential on this earth before I take my last breath. So why the fuck would I be the guy on the right if I could be the guy on the left? And I've done it before. And even you could do better than the guy on the left and go a little bit deeper and dig deeper. Like, yo, it's real, bro. You got to realize that the potential that sits in you cannot be changed or altered by the conversation that you have with average people. This shit where we talking to average people about our very this shit where you talking to people about your standards and they telling you that your lowest is your best, bro, you're gonna change. Long enough, they're gonna penetrate your brain no matter how much fortitude you have in there, no matter how disciplined you are. They're going to penetrate your brain, bro. If you went to the gym 7 days a week, every single day, and you worked your ass off to get a certain physique or to implant some discipline in your body, and then you start going out every weekend or every other weekend, because that's how it starts. So like bad habits creep in. They don't just overcome your standard. No. They creep in inch by inch, little by little, person by person, right? And it just chips away at who the fuck you are. And then you start to get like the dude on the right. You start to then lose the body that you had before. You gotta wake up, bro. You gotta wake up and stop comparing yourself to average people. Average people are just going to be the average. I want to be on the outside of the bell curve. I want to be the extremist. I want to be the person that's obsessed with not only my self-development in terms of my body physically, but also my brain. How much can my mind take? How strong can I make myself? As we talk about in videos before, putting habits and systems in place that then help you garnish other habits and systems. So like reading is my anchor task, right? Because I have anchor tasks. Wake up in the morning, pray, anchor task, right? Go brush your teeth, anchor task, right? From brushing your teeth, you go send out an email, anchor task. Right after that, and all these anchor tasks, and anchor tasks, all they do is that they trigger the next anchor task. Does that mean that you're not gonna have other little things that you do while you do your anchor task? No, like, so when you brush your teeth, you use mouthwash, you floss, you put on a do-rag because you're about to go to the gym. You don't want to fuck up your hair, right? You may put oil in your beard. You may have these little other side tasks that you do that is all along the lines of self-care, but it's anchored by the main task, which is brushing your teeth, right? So anchor tasks will then trigger other little tasks, but once you're finished with that one anchor task, you have another task set up. It's like a system. Once I brush my teeth, I know I'm leaving the bathroom to go send out an email. Once you send out that email, what do you do next? Get ready. Put on clothes. Oh, okay, you put on your clothes. What's next? Another anchor task. Read. Reading will then trigger in my brain, okay, we have such and such amount of time to get to the gym. Bang, get to the gym. But on the way, again, you're going to do other little tasks. Grab your coffee. My espresso machine's down right now, so that's why I've been drinking Starbucks. That's what it is. These anchor tasks will help you. After the gym, what do? You go home, take a shower, anchor task. Okay, cool. Then what do? Write down and look over your to-do list for the day. These are all things that will help you improve the way you live, and it'll help fortify your systems. Your systems have to be put together in a way that you then trigger yourself to do the things you know you need to. And the more that you do these things, the better it is. And this is, again, systems fall under standards. So this is why it's in the same conversation. This is why it's so important not to understand others and how they operate, because they are probably operating at average. People are running from discomfort, so they're going to stay average once they get out of their discomfort, because they then can stop. It's about survival for them. For you, it's about optimizing yourself to get to the potential that you know you have within you. So stop fucking around and put these systems in place and make them your standard. And does it take a little time, like 30 days? Yes, to then figure out, hey, I can do this every day. And then after you get to day 30, you then try it again for another month. By the time you get to your second month, it is a part of your routine. And you feel like you are obligated to do this and you must do this. Because when you start to do those anchor tasks, you then remember what's next. Okay, brushing my teeth. Okay, cool. Now I got to send out the email. Okay, cool. Go get ready for the gym. Okay, cool. Then you read. Okay, cool. Right. You see what I'm saying? And if you then put a blockage in any of that, your day gets fucked up. And then worse, when you do that for a long period of time, and that is now who you are always, once you miss one of those things or take out one of those big anchor tasks, bro, you're fucked. Your routine will be shattered. And then that's how you end up like the guy on the right. You stop doing the standard things that you know you need to do to be the guy on the left or to be that dominant killer. And then what? What do you think happens? What do you think follows suit after you stop doing the things that kept you so strong and disciplined? Your life crumbles. Things start to fall apart. You lose money. You lose women. You lose your attractive appeal. You lose your sex appeal. You lose all of the things that made you you. You dig? You start losing all of these things, bro. So be careful when it comes to fucking up your system. This is why not talking to other people is not the smartest of idea. Dealing with people in a way that you hear them out to implement what they do is not a good idea, because they're average. Don't ever forget, if you are trying to be the best of the best, there are going to be a shit ton of average people around you. I'm trying to tell you. Boy, Mr. Brown.